椒、龙渊、干将、默写、纯均、成瘾，引领市场，肯定未来，林肯球杆。
我在给胜利者沙发拍广告，他们要求我这样，但我却想这样。真正好品质，经得起推敲。胜利者高端台球沙发。
卓越商城优质台球配件在线购物平台，乔氏甄选，品质无忧，精选一线品牌入驻，携手打造台球配件新品，专业服务团队贴心售后，全程无忧购物。
球房配件选卓越，省时省力更省心。
I was born in Louisiana. My mama told my papa, our little boy has got the blues.
You better watch what you do to me. Watch what you do to me.
How much? That's been no question.
Wasted your love and won't waste anymore. Wish there was an angel sit up on my shoulder.
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
说青春是什么颜色？赤橙黄绿青蓝紫。青春就不该被简单的定义，打破常规，不被定义。小麦皮头独角兽系列快乐上市。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒免压，严格质检，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
园有枳溪，篱有兰，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物韦楚酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。她带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范。助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清清民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼。楼高30多米，巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。韦楚酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温情浪漫的红酒文化之中。韦楚酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄。同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节， 小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间人声鼎沸，好评如潮。微厨酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎《动情芷江》，以浓郁的动香文化大餐惊艳呈现。微厨酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、理的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。唯楚有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美动香酒庄，欢迎您！
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，含毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走味很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
H153走球更到位。
翘课我选布洛克。
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。中式八球，俗称黑八，是一项原创于中国的运动，在乔氏的推动下，已走进全球69个国家。乔氏中式八球，风靡全球的中国运动。冠军500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要球杆，换一切为可能。
老鹰胶边，乔氏官方合作伙伴，冠军品质，成就梦想。全球每100张高端台球桌，就有1张搭配老鹰胶条。通过高分子纳米配方，我们让橡胶拉伸强度提升40%，回弹误差0.03毫米，每一道工序全程数控化。每条胶边都需要经历严苛的平整度检测，确保每延米承载10万次冲击不变形。顶级赛事官方认可，精准回弹，每一次撞击释放力量本真，卓越表现只为成就每一位梦想追逐者。鹰击长空，逐梦台坛，老鹰胶边 与世界一同飞翔，引领未来，见证荣耀时刻。精准回弹，首选老鹰。
5、4、3、2、1，中式八球大师赛。 有请运动员台上就位。Athletes, please take your position on stage. 黄金战神加雷斯·波茨 from UK， 百步穿杨张坤鹏 from China， 中巴转动世界球童 Joy Village Uniting the World。有请两位一部比赛神器乔氏金腿球桌 ，Please move to the table。女士们、先生们，败部决赛即将开始。下面介绍本场比赛裁判团队：主裁判李亚帆，助理裁判玉玲。张梦蝶。此刻线上观赛的各位，我们正在Zhijiang为您直播中巴转动世界球童，这里是中式巴球大师赛，和平Zhijiang，比赛开始。
请双方选手争夺开球选择权，听我口令，预备，3、2、1，开始。张坤鹏获得开球选择权。比赛开始，第一局，张坤鹏开球。10秒。延时。
Good day, everyone, and welcome back. This is day 9, stage 3, the losers bracket final of the 2025 Joy Heyball Masters Super Tour Zhijiang Station. Live from China, we have Gareth Pots up against Zhang Kungpang. Race to 19, winners break format. Yeah, and if you did join us earlier this morning, we had the losers bracket round 8. Gareth Pots against Phone Mincure, and Gareth winning that 19-16. And for a while there, it looked like Phone was making a comeback, and it looked like he was going to do something when he took the lead at 16-15. But after that, Gareth made it 16 all at the 32 frame break. And 3 consecutive break-in runs later, Gareth Pots finds himself in the losers bracket final. Just 3 players left. Gareth Pots, Zhang Kungpang, and the only player who hasn't taken a loss yet, Zhao Ruliang. The winner of this match will play him tomorrow in the grand final at 4 p.m. local time. So winning the leg and on the table still Zhang Kungpang. Another 6-ball must go past the 9. And if it doesn't, he's going to bank it, but I think it does. He didn't have much of that pocket to work with, and that's exactly where he wanted the cue ball. First point, Zhang Kungpang, as he leads 1-0. So this is a race to 19 winners break format, and we'll see what that does to this match. We have seen players make multiple consecutive break-in runs in this tournament. And there comes our first try break from Zhang Kungpang. Now yesterday we did see him struggling with the break slightly more than Zhao Ruliang. Wasn't able to find it that quick, and that was the reason he went down. He was down 9-2 yesterday to Zhao Ruliang. I hope you guys won that stream as well. That was last night in the winners bracket final. Now Kungpeng was able to come back from 9-2 down in that match. One of the best comebacks we've seen. Came back from 9-2 down to make it 12 all, 16 all. But in the end was not able to defeat Zhao Ruliang. And 2 of our other favorites in this tournament would be Phone Mint and Tang Shunshao. Phone Mint out of the tournament by the hands of Gareth Pots earlier. And Tang Chao lost to Fonement before that. Yeah, and straight away going to break up the 9 from the 2, but he might have created another problem now. 9 heading over to the 4 ball. So you have to remember that Gareth played, I think it was about a 5-hour match earlier today, that match against Fonement. Score 19-16, so almost going all the way to a decider. And luckily enough, tomorrow's final is at 4 p.m. So there's enough time for the players to rest in the morning before that grand final. I also think the reason for the final being at that time for our international audiences. Quite far out on the time zones here in China. Now, these two players have met in a very high-profile match before. That was the final of the 5th Joy Masters Grand Finals that went down to a penalty shootout, with Gareth Pots winning that, and that's how he got his 5th title. So Gareth Pots, the only international player to ever win a Joy Masters Grand Finals event, and he's won that 3 times, the 1st, the 2nd, and the 5th. English 8-ball background, 4 times World English 8-ball champion. He was then invited for the first Joy Grandmasters Finals and won it. And after that, Gareth Pots has been known as the international face of Joy Heyball around the world. Now that positional shot meant that he had to swerve through the gap between 3 and the black ball, so not able to take advantage of the dry break from Zhang Kungpeng. Now with some players, referee counting down on the shot can affect you, but there is one player that we know is not affected by that. Had him on the TV table this morning. Really, I still can't understand how he plays like that. Able to play with the referee counting down from 5, usually shoots on 2. And high pressure shots in high pressure situations. What a player is Fonement Kyo. But just couldn't get past the might of Gareth Pots earlier this morning. Yes, indeed, Gareth Pots is decorated like that. And that's why I have those stats to let you guys know exactly who he is and what he's capable of. Kungpeng leaving himself the bank on the blue, which didn't go in. Doesn't look like he's left Pots anything either. Now the actual grandstands for this particular TV table, one is behind the cameras that are viewing the table now, so we do have those grandstands set up by Joy, and that is filled with people, as you can, or as you will hear when a frame is done. You'll hear the applause that's coming from the audience in that grandstands. And also I have to add that in China, these matches are everywhere, sometimes even on their local TV channels, but everywhere, so it's so easily accessible for people to watch it for free, of course. Yeah, that's a brilliant pot from Gareth, considering where the white ball was. And he's knocked in quite a few of those today already. And we did see a shaky start from Kungpeng yesterday as well, but at the moment, all square in this losers bracket final at 1-1. So score currently 1-1, and let's see what Gareth Pots has in the tank with this break. The last time he was at the table breaking was a break and run to win the match. He's potted a ball in the corner. 5 goes in the top as well. Now, I don't really understand what Kungpeng did in the previous frame, why he went for that shot choice. And also, he rolled it. Usually you'd see these players punching a shot like that in. Could have thought that he's leaving Gareth slightly safe, but wasn't safe enough. Solids in play for Gareth. And yeah, the setup at these Joy events is always spectacular. From the time we get here, there's always an opening ceremony as well. And as I have said in the past, these events, there's no entry fee to them. As long as you get yourself to China, get registered with the Joy staff, everything else is taken care of. Also world-class equipment, the Joy Q8 steel block table with a Lieberwin 8848 cloth. And as you have seen in other international tournaments, that is now the new international standard, the best standard in the world currently. We found a really good match with Joy and Lieberwin. to me, it looks like Pots is just continuing from this morning's form. He looks so settled on this table in this arena. And at the moment, out of the entire tournament, 3 players left. And Gareth Pots, the only international player left. And if you've watched any of these tournaments before, you'd know what a huge accomplishment that is. And another break and run for Gareth Pots, and he's up and running once again. He takes the lead 2-1.
500万乔氏大师赛官方供应商，正红胶边均匀回弹，铸就一流打感，持续助力中式台球职业化联赛，制造好球桌，胶边选正红。
Yeah, definitely continuing with the form from this morning. Gareth Pots 2-1 up, 1 break and run already.
Okay.
He just looks a lot more comfortable. In the start of this match this morning. I think a little mark on the cue ball.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this one's better because of this.
This.
Yeah, so different cue ball introduced, and as you saw, Pots asking if it's okay with Kungpang as well. Sportsman thing to do. That ball almost going into the corner again. Those two not heading the way of the center, so dry break. Final score between Gareth Pots and Phone Mint was 19-16. Phone was 16-15 up. Gareth made it 16 all with a rack and run at the break. Gareth comes back from the break. 3 break and runs in a row. And that's all she wrote against Phone. Gareth put the call down on Phone. So prize breakdown for this tournament for the last 4. 4th place, which would be Phone Mint, $20,800 US. 3rd place, which would be a loser of this match, $41,600 US. A runner-up, $111,000, and champion, $277,000 US. And also there's a lot more information about these events on the WHT World Heyball Tour Joy Facebook page. You can follow that page and just scroll through it. You'll see other active tournaments as well. The Oceania Open currently on in Australia. That's WPA Joy Events, the Continental Oceania Open. A few days ago, we had the Champion of Champions in Brisbane, Australia, and the Melbourne Open coming up, I believe. Yeah, Kungpeng is quite a quick player as well. You hardly ever hear the referee getting to 10 seconds. Pretty much you look away from the table and next time you look at it, he's on the black ball already.
第4局，张坤鹏胜，比分2-2。谢谢。
So far 4 frames played, 3 clearances. These two players are definitely sending a message to each other. Game on. And the breaks between these two players, Kungpeng now using a much more powerful break, but nothing going in. Yes, the winner of this match goes through to the grand finals against Zhao Ruliang. Single life in the finals, just one match. And at the moment, my only worry is that Zhao Ruliang currently, he's been breaking the best in the entire tournament. It's the reason he's able to have such a high average of consecutive break and runs per match. And especially that being so important, especially in the winner break format where you have the opportunity to get a few consecutive frames and run away from your opponent. I think the reason they've introduced the winner break format using the triangle rack is because it's not easy. And if you guys have been on the streams recently, minus a Zhao Ruliang stream, you would have seen how many try breaks there are and how low the percentage actually can be of potting a ball on the break. And you can give it a try if you have a Heyball table near you. Rack the balls up with a triangle and see out of 10 how many times do you pot a ball. It's tough. And that's in practice, so imagine doing that in a match under pressure where it counts, where you know
10秒。延时。
such a high chance your opponent is going to clear after a dry break. Yeah, look at that shot. Using the one ball beautifully to hold the cue ball, opened up everything for himself. I think the black ball should still be through. If it's not to the corner, it goes to the center. It doesn't need it in the corner, available to the right center pocket. And rack and run for Gareth Pots as he takes the lead once again, 3 frames to 2.
谢谢。第6局，加雷斯波茨开球。
Gareth Pots truly on fire at the moment. He's 3-2 up against Zhang Kungpang. Another excellent clinical clearance from him. This is a race to 19 winners break in this losers bracket final. 3 balls in. And off we go again. Yeah, very well executed break. Nice open table. There's only 3 balls against the rail, but 2 of them's not going to matter as he's taking the other one. Yeah, the first player to actually master the triangle break, in my opinion, is Sun Yan. He's the player who was defeated by Chu Bingji in the Baotou station about 2 months back. Now he used that softer break right through the losers bracket, and it was spotted by Chu Bingji. And he said, wait a minute, there's a better way to do this break. So he started using it as well, and he beat Sun Yan in that final. But Sun Yan, Chu Bingji, and Zhao Ruliang, 3 of the players I've seen, have almost mastered the new break rule. And I did see a comment earlier saying that when
10秒。
the rules were changed for Heyball,
5、4、3。
yeah, excellent pot. That it was an even playing field then, because it was changed and everybody had to adapt to the new rule, but it doesn't work that way when the Chinese players are practicing 8 hours a day. And of that 8 hours, spending quite a bit of time practicing the break as well. Now at a tournament like this, 28 practice tables in the practice room below us. Chinese players and international players are practicing together, so we can watch, or we have watched, exactly how the Chinese players practice. I've seen the hours they put in. Playing at a tournament doesn't stop them from practicing. The practice goes on. And that's why I can say that they practice the break. I've seen them practicing the break. I've seen them practicing one shot 1,000 times. And just me saying that will tell you how much work this man has had to put in to be in this last 3 and be 4-2 up against Zhang Kungpang.
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版。
So double elimination in stage 3, last 32 players. So if you do take a loss, you are in the losers bracket, and you play the losers in the losers bracket. 2 losses and you're out. And players from the winners bracket who take a loss are then thrown in the losers bracket. At the moment, 3 players left. This is the losers bracket final, and winner of this goes through to play in the grand final. Loser is out of the tournament. In the grand final, it's just 1 life, so although Zhao Ruliang has not lost yet in stage 3, makes no difference in the grand final. So Gareth Pots now 4-2 up in this race to 19. 2 break-in runs, 1 rack and run. 1 break-in run, 1 rack and run for Zhang Kungpang. That's 5 clearances out of 6 frames played. Very high standard at the moment. Yeah, we did have quite a few players from Africa playing in this tournament. These Joy Station events and, of course, the Joy Grandmasters Finals, which is once a year. A lot of international players coming to these tournaments. As we see that Miss Blue from Gareth, I think he missed it slightly thick. Yeah, caught the inside jaw. Now 4-2 up, he's given Kungpeng a chance at the table. So we have players coming through from Russia. And if you saw the opening ceremony, you'd see how many countries were actually in attendance here. I think we had about 30 countries in attendance from the African countries. South Africa represented very well. You of course had Jason Turon here. He was here for the Division 1 tour, had to leave to go to the Champion of Champions. He's currently playing in the Oceania Open. We had a few of the top Egyptian players here as well. We had Caesar come through as well. He's a stage 2 player, so automatic stage 2 entry for him in the Super Tour. Yeah, that's a great shot. Yeah, now Kungpeng is not a player you can ever count out. And I say that because of his performance yesterday. I think many people had lost hope for Kungpeng when he was 9-2 down against Zhao Ruliang. It's quite rare that you see a player with that much grit and that much fight to come back from that. A 7-frame deficit. Does he still have sight of the 9? Yes, he does. The 9's potting angle looks like it's there. Had the potting angle around 2 cushions. And he's back on the 11 for the same pocket. And this frame will go the way of Zhang Kungpeng now. He takes his 3rd point, trailing 4 frames to 3.
第8局，张坤鹏开球。
7 frames played, 6 one-visit clearances in this match thus far from both players. After this frame, we will have the 8-frame player break. Gareth Pots grabs his cue. That's a dry break from Kungpang. At the moment between these 2 players, Gareth definitely breaking slightly better.
10秒。
And that missed 2 ball in the previous frame allowed Kungpeng back to the table, and it cost Gareth the frame at 4-2 up. And so far, this match going a lot quicker than the one this morning. A lot less tactics, a lot more attacking. A lot more one-visit clearances so far. Yeah, sometimes the tactical play can be interesting to watch, but I think there's no greater satisfaction on this table than making a one-visit clearance for the players and for us at home watching them plan a clearance and execute it perfectly. Especially since we know how tough this game can be. Now, the way he's looking to root this, it looks like it's going to be 13 as his last ball. That's on the top right of the table on your screen. Yeah, he would have liked to be a little straighter on the 12. Yeah, so now he's had to reroute to take the 13. Now from here it looks like he's also slightly wrong side on the 12. Yes, he is, which means the cue ball is running away from the black ball, not towards, which is why you didn't want to use the 12 as your last ball. And after this frame, we will have a 5 to 10 minute player break. And that is another one visit clearance. Gareth Pots takes the lead 5 frames to 3.
10分钟未到，判可以数。谢谢。
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要求干，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯，掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点。 音速交边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。音速整条交边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用音速交边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好交边音速造，好交边音速造。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头。超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间相见。成木质之美，雕琢洞天；遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心。以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。
暂停结束，比赛继续，第9局，加雷斯波茨开球。
And we are back after that break. Gareth Pots leading 5 frames to 3. Rack and run from him just before the break. So 8 frames played, 7 clearances, 7 one-visit clearances. That's a dry break. We did see the percentage of ball potted on the break. 75% for Gareth Pots, 25% for Zhang. Kungpang now. This dry break will bring that percentage slightly lower from Pots, but still at the moment is breaking better than Kungpang.
10秒，延时。
He's taken his extension. Now you have the 6-11 on the right side. The 2 stripes at the top, 15 on the top rail, ball cushion. And that little nudge on the 6. 6 now potable to the center pocket. That just shows you, sometimes you'll see these players when they go into a ball or into a group of balls, they're not hammering the cue ball at 100 miles an hour into it. Sometimes such a delicate touch will just open up the balls and leave the ball potable. Like with the 6, I mean, the cue ball just came rolling in, touched the 11, pushed the 6 into a better position. It's very controlled, concise. There's purpose behind it. I don't know how much of an angle he has on the 4. Needs to come slightly lower to play on the 2. And that should be good because now he needs to be on this side of the table to play the 1 into that center pocket on the right side. And at the moment the level is so high. It's actually been a while since we've had this 8 frames, 7 clearances so far. Straight on the black ball to the bottom left corner pocket. Kungpeng for his 4th point, and that's another rack and run of Gareth Pots' try break.
谢谢。
At the moment, these players are averaging about 5 minutes per frame. And once again, dry break, so his ball potted on a break percentage will also decrease now. It was on 25%.
10秒。5、
Now the 3 currently does go to the top left, but playing the 5, it looks like the cue ball is heading in that direction. Unless, is he playing the 5 of the 11? Yes, he is. Look at that, ball off a ball. It was the only way he was going to hold on the 3. even the shot on the 5, to think about that, to use the 11 to hold for the 3. Little piece of brilliance from Pots. That 6 has just caught the inside jaw, not able to make this one visit clearance at this time for Pots. So Kungpeng to the table. He's currently 5-4 down. Not having the best luck with his breaks at the moment. And with the angle he has on the 11, not that much he can do with the cue ball. And that's why it's a tough enough shot playing it without the pace. So I don't think Pots expected to be back at the table, but he is. And just 3 solids left. Now where does the black ball go? Looks like it is blocked by the 10 to the bottom left corner. Yeah, nicely done. Now, we're looking at where the black ball goes. So is he planning to play 2 off the 10? Yes. I think he is. He is, and he does. Oh, the execution on a shot like that. Brilliantly played from Gareth Pots as he goes 6-4 up against Zhang Kungpeng.
第11局，加雷斯波茨开球。
So 10 frames played. Gareth Pots 6-4 up against Zhang Kungpeng in this losers bracket final. It doesn't look like anything's made its way to the pocket now. And this is why this match is going back and forth at the moment. Try breaks from both players will cause that, because they both aren't able to capitalize on the winner break situation. So it becomes almost like an alternate break format at the moment. This is a 9-foot table, so same size as a 9-ball, American 9-ball table. Snooker cut pockets,
延时
8.5 centimeters pocket width at the slate drop. And you can break from anywhere within the balk line. Losers bracket final. Winner of this match plays Zhao Ruliang tomorrow in the winners, well, grand final. The way the stages work at these Joy tournaments, after each stage, players are eliminated. So for example, stage 1 is a race to 7 with a time limit. In the Super Tour, the Chinese play separate to the international players. So the stages are pretty much like qualifying rounds for stage 3. So in stage 1, however many players, it could be about 200 international players down to 32. Then in stage 2, they add another 32 seeded players. Now those were the likes of Gareth Pots, Mohammad Reza Hassan, Mick Hill, Andrew Paget, Caesar Chandigal. Those players came in as seeded players, so they qualify automatically into stage 2 of the tournament. Now stage 2, race to 13, no time limit. 64 players down to 16. And same on the Chinese side. So then we have the top 16 international players, top 16 Chinese players. And that becomes stage 3, open draw. Starts off with a race to 13 and progresses as we go on. Currently race to 19, tomorrow in the grand final, race to 23. Pretty much the exact same format of the Grandmasters finals once a year. And it's all double elimination throughout. So from stage 1, you always have 2 chances. And even if you did take a loss in stage 1, when you get to stage 2, that's reset. It's a new draw, double elimination once again. Now, after 10 frames played, a bit of a tactical battle. Now from this angle, it doesn't look like the 2 and 5 are set as a combination, but that's okay because they go past the 15. And the cameraman just knew that I'm going to be looking at the 2 and the 5. the 2 and the 5 does go. You can see the angle that he has on the 4. The cue ball will naturally be going over to the right-hand side of the table on our screen. That's where it wants to go. Yeah, but that 4 is not an easy pot. You can see he would have been on those solids. He's left the cue ball on that right-hand side cushion though for Kungpeng. Now Kungpeng with the chance to take his 5th point. And I feel that this match is going to stay this way all the way to the end if one of these players don't find their breaks. Unless best case scenario for us, both of them do, and we see a large number of consecutive break and runs from both of them. Now can he get past the 2? I think he just can. Yeah, that was worrying for a second. There is a slight gap between cue ball and 2. Touch of luck on his side for Zhao Ruliang. And this black ball for his 5th point now. He trails 6 frames to 5 over
第
Gareth
11 局
Pots.
张坤鹏胜，比分5比6。谢谢。
Absolute scenes in this match. Playing some really nice music here at the moment. Takes me back to my young days. I saw a comment on one of our streams a while back. Person said they just cheer for the EDM music in between frames. And if you were on the stream before the match, you would have seen the walkout for the players and the player announcements. And really, with every tournament, it just gets bigger and better. At these joy events. And now from stage 3, so the last 32 players, it's like that with all of them individually announced. Walk out on the stage with the referee and then go to your tables. And at these joy events, even in stage 1 and stage 2, where you are at your tables with the referee, before the matches, everybody's names are called, so table number, referee's name, and players who are playing on that table. Very professional tournament atmosphere at these joy tournaments. can see as well the dress code. Dress code is plain colored pants, black shoes, plain shirt, waistcoat, bow tie. It's a dress code for each and every player in this tournament.
10秒，延时。
And miss from Kungpeng on the 6. Rare to see that. He's overcut that to the top right corner. Now looking at the table, it looks like they all go. 15 does go to the opposite center as well, to the right side. 11 into the left, 12 into the left as well. And now Pots' run to the stage of the tournament. Yeah, to beat Paul Cluck from Australia, 13-6. Then he went up against Sun Yan, the player I spoke about earlier.
10秒。
Second place at the Baotou station.
5、4、3。
Defeated him 13-11, and then Kong De Jing. Also another fantastic young player, won that on the TV table 15-13. But then he came up against Zhao Ruliang, a very in-form Zhao Ruliang. I believe Ruliang had another 4 consecutive break and runs in that match. There was a time the score was tight, but after 4 or 5 consecutive break and runs, your opponent just pulls away from you. Ruliang won that 17-13. And then after that, Pots has had some tight matches. Zhao Jianbo 17-16 on the TV table. Winner of the Division 1 tour a couple days ago. Zhao Jianbo, former professional snooker player. And this morning against Phone Min Kyo. The top 2 international players in the world were playing this morning. Pots winning that one 19-16. One good positional shot now. Coming down the left side of the table. He needs a bounce. He wanted to be on the black ball to the center pocket. Is it there? It looks good. It's there. Pots gets his 7th point on the board. He leads 7 frames to 5.
7比5。谢谢。
现赛事指定台迷丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。
第13局，加雷斯波茨开球。
Yeah, another fantastic clearance from Pots, and you did hear the applause after that. Well acknowledged by the crowd here. He's made a ball, he's made another. 2 balls into the top right corner pocket, and that's why you saw the hand going out to Kungpeng. And he's missed the one to the center, and that ball was slightly easier, I think, than the black ball that he just potted. So Kungpeng to the table, open table. He's going to secure solids. And definitely a lot more problems on the table for solids, having dropped 2 balls on the break. There's now only 4 solids left after that. Yeah, and this has been a very quick clearance. Solids were a much better choice. One visit clearance for Kungpeng. That's another rack and run for him.
比分6比7，谢谢。第14局，张坤鹏开球。
Yeah, that was a quick rack and run from Zhang Kungpang to make it 7-6. And with all that power and still not potting a ball on the break, I can't believe it. does a ball not go in? That much power. Balls flying all around the table. And this is definitely going to keep the game very tight if this continues. It's becoming like, at the moment, it's becoming alternate break, although it is winner's break. You have to remember, Kungpang breaks dry. Pots is at the table to make a clearance. He's breaking next, he breaks dry. Kungpang makes a clearance. So far, we haven't had a player stay on the table. And if this does continue, then definitely, very likely, a hill-hill match here between these two.
10秒，延时。
But what I can see is that Kungpeng is he's trying everything to make a ball. He's putting more and more power. He's most likely going to go to a soft break soon again. Until he finds something that works. But of these two players, Gareth Pots still has the higher percentage of making a ball on the break.
10秒。5、4。
That's exactly where he knew the cue ball is heading to. And he's landed on the 2 to the center. Now currently the black ball doesn't go. Has the angle to just nudge into the black ball now. Yeah, played it with enough power that the black ball cleared the 1. Has to just nip the cue ball to play the 5 to the bottom left. Yeah, just holding. Now all focus, all concentration into this 5. It's good, it's there. Yeah, I was worried for a second. He's missed a few of those, but not this time. And that's another rack and run for Gareth Pots as he takes his 8th point.
比分8比6。谢谢。第15局，加雷斯波茨开球。
And definitely a master at work with that clearance. Gareth Pots currently 8-6 up. It's 14 frames played. At 16 frames played, we will have another player break. It was 5-3 to Gareth Pots after 8 frames. And let's try again. Yeah, one of these players has to break the pattern. Or is it going to happen in the last few frames like it did with Gareth Pots and Phone Mint? What a time for Gareth Pots to find those clearances. 16-15 down in the race to 19. He makes a rack and run to make it 16 all.
10秒.
And breaks and clears 3 racks in a row to win the match. A nice little nudge on the 15-12 to just open that up. Now the 12 definitely available to the centers and to the top left. 15 should be as well. The only time you see Kungpeng taking his time like that is when he's working out his route or his pattern. After that, usually quite a quick player. Now, is he still on the 14? I think the 14 should go. Definitely does. And the shot that he played earlier to open up the 15-12, that comes into play now. Looking for the gap between 6 and 4. Between 6 and 4. Went into the 4. Hasn't really changed anything. Route remains the same. Cue ball in a similar position. And almost straight on this black ball to the bottom left corner. Very well taken clearance thus far from Zhang Kungpeng. Seventh point on the board for him, and that's another rack and run.
俺老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
偏要求干，化一切为可能。
第16局，张坤鹏开球。
Yeah, Kungpeng is very quick at the table as well. Now you see him, now you don't, and he's got a frame on the board. He's made a ball this time. And with this power break, the first thing you're looking at if a player makes a ball is where's the cue ball. Able to keep some sort of control on the cue ball this time. I made a ball on that break. I was going to say he's been quite unfortunate to not be on anything easier, but excellent pot on the 2 to the center pocket. As we see this again, have a look at that. Has to go past the black ball. Cue ball off 2 cushions. After this frame, we will have the 16-frame player break. Oh, it looked like he missed that. He almost missed that. Hit that so thick, and that's why the cue ball is not further up the table. Also such a great player when he's at the table and going through a clearance. And another player who puts in so many hours. I've seen it in the practice room. Towards the end of this tournament, nobody else in the practice room except for him and Zhao Ruliang. So no surprise that a player like Zhao Ruliang is in the final, the grand final, unbeaten. Because even at a tournament, if you're still putting in 5 hours a day and playing 2 matches a day, Kungpeng gets a break and run, 8-all as we go to the 16-frame player break.
双方暂停10分钟，10分钟未到，判负1局。
乔氏金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。一线赛事指定台迷：丁俊晖、奥沙利文、郑宇博、楚秉杰等国内外一线球星代言。利百文，中国台迷领导品牌。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间镶嵌。成木质之美，雕琢洞天；遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心。以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
河北省天一集团创立于2013年， 注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发，让舒适无处不在。
园有枳兮，篱有兰，这里生态优美，山清水秀，五水河畔，光影四射，它是那么的灵动和风雅。芷江是侗族人民自治县，是一座被少数民族侗乡文化所萦绕的魅力之城。湖南省100名最美扶贫人物唯厨酒庄董事长吴如女士，在2001年激情焕发，投资农业，扎根芷江。经过多年耕耘，刺葡萄种植基地连绵有5万多亩。他带领当地村民把优质的刺葡萄打造成了集种植、生产、加工、观光于一体的农旅典范，助力富民产业与全域旅游、生态建设、乡村振兴深度融合。行走在酒庄，可见东南亚风格的酒吧，配套齐全的露营基地，风格迥异的美食餐厅，小资情调的清清民宿，典雅精致的侗族演艺大厅1000个春天，更有气势恢宏的侗家鼓楼巨福楼，楼高30多米。巨福楼广场可同时容纳1万名游客。荷花满园的田园，一花一世界，一步一风景，宛若世外桃源。唯厨酒庄非物质文化收藏馆陈列了侗家织布机等非物质文化物件。漫步在幽静和散发着清香的刺葡萄园中，畅享丰收的喜悦，让你心旷神怡。走进酒庄地下酒窖，扑面而来的葡萄酒香味儿，让你仿佛沐浴在温馨浪漫的红酒文化之中。唯厨酒庄的建设始终以世界的眼光、国际的标准，以宾客为尊的理念，高标准、高质量建成了中国最美侗乡酒庄，同时酿造出了品质一流的红酒。近2年来，酒庄开展了采摘节、小丑节、亚伦蒂尼飞虎 P40潮流音乐节，以及怀化味道第7届高山刺葡萄节等丰富多彩的主题活动。期间人声鼎沸，好评如潮。唯厨酒庄还倾力打造了大型文旅实景演绎侗情芷江，以浓郁的侗乡文化大餐惊艳呈现。唯厨酒庄的美食自成体系，有精、美、情、礼的特色，科学布局业态，全力做好文旅加电商加乡村振兴，着力打造网红打卡之地，形成了3农服务的文旅 IP。感受侗族风情，品尝红酒和美食，沉浸于载歌载舞之中，尽情享受红酒与艺术碰撞的文化盛宴，享受诗酒远方的美好愿景。唯厨有酒，于斯为醉。中国最美侗乡酒庄，欢迎您！
我是代言人赵卫国，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人雨龙海，星星暴走，年轻自由。
我是代言人楚炳杰，星星暴走，年轻自由。
And we are back after the player break at 16 frames played. Score is all level, 8-all. Gareth Pots against Zhang Kungpang. Race to 19, winners break format. And we are back to the action after that break and run from Kungpeng in the previous frame. That puts him on 2 break and runs, 5 rack and runs. Gareth Pots, 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs thus far. This is the losers bracket final. Winner of this match faces Zhao Ruliang tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the grand finals. That'll be a race to 23, 4 p.m. local time, China Standard Time. So that dry break from Kungpeng brings Pots to the table, stripes in play. Yeah, and that cleaning of the cue ball does eat into the player's time. The clock is not stopped for that, as it's the player who asks for it. Can you imagine if the clock was stopped for every time a player wanted to clean the cue ball? These players would be doing it every shot. And with that, hasn't really left much on the table for Gareth. The 13 does go to the center, but very tough pot to take on. He's had a look at it. He's used his extension already, so no time. No, he's not playing 13 to the center. Clever shot to push the 6 to the rail.
延时。
That's around the area where he did want the cue ball. Managed to get the 4 off the cushion. But he has left a lot of stripes in sight for Gareth Pots.
10秒。
Cue ball behind the 9.
犯规。
Yeah, I think that was the plan, but he's gone in off. And now ball in hand anywhere on the table for Zhang Kungpeng. Oh, he's going to play the 2 to open up 6 and 1 and leave the cue ball stuck behind the 3. There we go. 6. He only managed to get the 6, and yeah, it's not really that open for him, but look at where the cue ball is. Definitely got the first part of that shot right.
10秒。
This is going to be close. He's made contact, legal shot. Yeah, good escape from Gareth. This is close to being in. This is close to being in. It's in. Did not play for that. Played for it to get close to the pocket, not in. Yeah, it didn't even touch the inside jaw on its way in. Bank on the 4. So it wasn't planned. Positioning of the cue ball was planned, but let's see what can he do. Yeah, straight away into that. He's managed to free the 7. 6 now tied up to the 10. Hasn't been easy in this frame for both players. It's hard to say who has the advantage at the moment, but looking at where the 9 is, the 3 stripes in open play. Those stripes being close to the center pocket or going towards the center pocket. I would have to say stripes has the advantage. They offer better access to opening up the 10.
10秒。
So now he is most definitely looking to attack this frame. Is Gareth Pots. As you can see, it doesn't look like he gets through to the 14. He's just taken off 2 pieces off the board, and when it's like this, it's a game of chess. Usually, more balls on the table equal better opportunity to put the cue ball safe.
10秒。
Also, more opportunity to free your problem balls.
4
Which is why he's tried to pot the 7. Problem for Kungpeng at the moment is if he gives Gareth Pots sight of the 13, that's the next shot he's going to play. He's going to be playing 13 onto the 7 and parking the cue ball behind the 14 possibly. And that's the second time that Kungpeng has missed a ball like that. 2 frames or 3 frames ago, he missed one like that as well. Very similar to this. I think exact same shot, exact same way. So he's playing 13 onto the 7. Wasn't able to get the cue ball behind 14, so 3 is still available for Kungpeng. But now he takes the 3 on and he doesn't land on another solid. He's just taken another piece off the table. And that's why he's not gone for the pot. Looks like Pots has got the cue ball behind the black ball, which means that Kungpeng might be forced to play the 2, 1 or 6. The 2's in. The 2 is in, which means that unfortunately for Kungpeng, he stays at the table.
不能钝杆哈，下次不能钝杆。
钝杆。
对，不能钝杆。
我那是钝杆。
就刚刚那一下。
这叫钝杆。这钝杆。
Yeah, Kungpeng's tried to play a clever shot with the previous one. Purposely tried to pot Garrett's ball with the cue ball. And then unfortunately for him, the 2 balls gone in, which means he had to stay at the table. Pots testing the level of the table with that slow roll. Definitely is straight. Played across all three slates there. Yeah, that's the exact moment where you don't want to stay at the table with Kungpeng's last shot. And he's lucky that he didn't plant the cue ball right behind the stripe. So this looks like it is the longest frame so far of the match. I think we are at about 15 minutes playtime for this frame.
$10秒。5、4。
Yeah, I don't know which one of these players is going to go for it. There is something that I can see. Kungpeng might play it at some point in time. It does look like the 6 can go in off the 11 into that corner, but I mean, it's a huge risk. You play that and you miss it. It's definitely a lost frame. But just have a look at the 6 on the 11 at the bottom end of the table on our screen. For example, if the cue ball is where it is now in that line and you play onto the 6 full ball, there is a chance that it caroms off the 11 into that corner, but very tough shot to play, very risky. But now Gareth is going to open that. And there is a chance that he spotted that he spotted the possibility. And therefore takes that possibility off the table for Kungpeng. Yeah, and look what's going on now. He has the angle. Has the angle, had the angle, used the angle. Are we gonna say it's a bit of bad fortune, bad roll? I think he could have played the cannon slightly better. These players are very in control of what they're doing.
6号球贴库。Frozen ball. No.
Now at the moment, Pots has numerical advantage, 3 playing 1. But not much he could do in that situation, and is Pots gonna take the bait? Because the 10 does go. Now rack time 21 minutes 56 seconds. Has he? No, he definitely went for the pot on that. That's strange. He went for the pot 100%. Yeah, usually a pot like that, when you're trying to hold the cue ball for the next ball, you can miss it thick trying to take the pace out of the cue ball, but he missed it thin. And after this 22-minute rack, Kungpang takes it. He takes the lead, 9 frames to 8.
第18局，张坤鹏开球。
So Kungpeng currently 9-8 up. That was the first frame after the 16-frame player break, 23-minute frame. And how many balls has he potted on that break? 1, 2, I think 3. Either 2 or 3. Two balls in on that break. Yeah, 11 plays, cue ball onto the 15, 15 released. And now with the 15 out in the open. And once again used his first shot at the table to free the problem ball. And after 23 minutes of tactical play, it is nice to see balls being potted. Yeah, look at that shot from Kungpeng. Very nicely done. The 15 could go, but he's just made his life so much easier. And currently at the moment, Zhang Kungpeng on 2 break and runs, 5 rack and runs. Gareth Pots 2 break and runs, 3 rack and runs. And before the break, at 16 frames, Gareth Pots 50% percentage of potting a ball off the break. And Zhang Kungpeng 25%. Now that would have gone up. Yeah, taking these so easily is Kungpeng. Run through off the cushion for the black ball into the left center. And this for 10-8 and his third break and run of the match. It's there. Zhang Kungpang goes 10-8 up.
第18局，张坤鹏胜，比分10-8，台球清台。谢谢。
轩辕、赤霄、龙渊、干将、默邪、纯君。
第19局，张坤鹏开球。
The 9's in. I expected the hand to go up there because have a look at how the 9 goes in. It gets kicked by the 4. Yeah, so percentage of potting a ball on the break is definitely going up for Kungpeng at the moment. I would say this is a big shot. And I say that because I know the pace these players play that shot with. So many players would roll it in, they'd still be on the 14, but cue ball would be very close to the cushion. These players stun that in at that pace every time. And that's 11-8, another break and run for Zhang Kungpang.
11-8，开球清台。谢谢。
So far 11-8 Zhang Kungpeng.
第20局，张坤鹏开球。
Currently on 4 break and runs, 5 rack and runs. Now highest runouts in a row. I have seen Phonement with 7. I've seen Chu Bingji with 7 or 8 as well. It's quite a while ago though. Zhao Ruliang has been getting 4 consistently recently. But a few days ago in the Division 1 tour, we saw a player named He Wenchong against Zhao Ruliang on the TV table. 6 consecutive break and runs, followed by 4 consecutive break and runs. In a race to 13, 10 break and runs. He defeated Zhao Ruliang 13 frames to 4 on the TV table. That player went on to play in the final of the Division 1 tour, lost in the final to Zhao Jianbo. That's the player that Gareth Pots played on the TV table yesterday. Defeated him 17-16.
延时
So currently, Kungpeng on 2 consecutive break and runs. And the streak is over. Gareth Pots to the table after being seated for 2 frames.
,10秒。5。
Yeah, really nice shot from Gareth on that stripe, and now all of a sudden table looks very open for him. And this is a big frame for Gareth Pots. At the moment, he was 8-7 up. Kungpeng with the break and run before 16 frame intermission. He took that next tactical frame, then after that a consecutive, 2 consecutive break and runs. So 4 in a row at the moment for Kungpeng. He runs through the 11 to the center, should be on the black ball to the top left corner pocket. Very nicely taken. Calm, cool, collected. Gareth Pots takes his 9th point, the rack and run.
9比11。谢谢。第20局，加雷斯波茨开球。
So Gareth Pots with another rack and run on the board. He's got 4 rack and runs, 2 break and runs, trailing by 2 frames against Zhang Kungpeng, 11-9. Needs to make a ball, because at the moment Kungpeng is making a ball when he's at the table. So far 2 frames in it. Now he's allowed Kungpeng back to the table. And this is where things can get dangerous.
延时。
Oh, what a shot this is to take on. And it's there. Yeah, you can hear the applause. That was a fantastic shot down to the bottom left. Look at this. And the pace he played it at as well. I can't begin to tell you the accuracy required to put that ball on this table. Needs to pass the 14, does so. And this is a huge frame because Gareth Pots' break, dry break, brought Kungpeng to the table. And he'll be breaking next. Now we've seen in the past few frames, been making a ball on the break. And somehow, once you start making a ball on the break like that, it just keeps coming. Yeah, this has been an amazing clearance from Kungpeng. A recovery shot to the bottom left corner pocket. Very well deserved. as he goes back 3 points in the lead. 12-9 now for Zhang Kungpeng. Rack and run.
河北省编译集团创立于2013年，注册资金500万，员工230余名，有着10余年的生产经验及研发设计、生产销售于一体的大型生产企业。优秀的员工、先进的技术、精良的设备，严格的管理使公司得以不断的发展壮大。精确、可靠、专业是我们生产的精神和服务信念。
天一沙发让舒适无处不在。
第22局，张坤鹏开球。
So currently 12-9 up, Zhang Kungpang 4 break and runs, 6 rack and runs. This is huge. It's a huge break. He spotted a ball on the break. And this is the break that he was using against Tang Shunshao, the exact same spot on the cue ball. That type of power, and it was working for him. The only difference between those two players on the day was the break. And he was able to defeat Tang Shunshao 17-10. Now we know what a phenomenal player she is.
10秒。延时。
That was a winner's bracket match, put her in the loser's bracket where she lost against Phone Mint 17-16. Very tight game. But that match, Kungpeng against Tang Shunshao, that came down to the breaks, and Kungpeng found a rhythm and he absolutely dominated. He's another player, just like Zhao Jianbo, the player who played Gareth Pots on TV table, I think it was yesterday morning. Can very quickly take out a clearance and put together a few frames. Zhang Kungpeng, 29 years of age. As we can see, the black ball does go to the bottom right corner pocket. Oh, he's clipped the one on the way, and it's not there. And as we can see, there was enough space for it to go in, but he had to use the left-hand side of the pocket. Didn't have the entire pocket to shoot at. So 12-9 down, Gareth Pots back to the table. He's playing solids.
10秒。延时。
It's there, and from that distance, I tell you what, that was a tough shot to get right. Might look like the three was close to the corner pocket. The one does pass the 12 to the top right. It's just the 4 and 2 that are slightly tricky. I don't think they go set the way they are at the moment. Unless the 2 does pass. And there we see the 2 definitely does pass into the bottom right. Yeah, use the 12 as a bigger pocket for the 1 to go into the top right. As we see that again, watch the 1 cushion first, then into the 12 in. Now the angle on the 7 to get to the 4. Can he hold the cue ball? When I say that, I mean, can he hold it from not going behind the 11? Or do you play it down, bottom rail, and then up? Yeah, better shot. 4 to overrun that slightly. He's played that absolutely perfectly. Yeah, huge point for Gareth Pots to get his 10th point on the scoreboard.
比分10比12。第23局，加雷斯波茨开球。
And he's made the 3 and the 15. This is exactly what he needed after that rack and run. Yeah, landed nicely on the 1 ball to the bottom right to get the cue ball back up table. Now should be coming into the angle of the 2. It's going to be on the 2 and the 6. Yeah, look at the pace control at the moment. Very comfortable on this table. Yeah, a couple of options now. Do you play the 2 and then finish up, or do you play the 6, take 5-7, then the 2 last? Most likely going to be coming down the right side of the table on our screen for the black ball into the bottom left. And I think yeah, that's what that was. It was that there were so many options available. Maybe a slight lapse in judgment, lapse in concentration. So Kungpeng at the table, 12-10 up. I just heard the entire crowd just sigh when that 2 ball didn't go in. I mean, I don't think anyone can believe that that ball hasn't fallen. Just 3 more stripes left on the table for Kungpeng, and yeah, they're showing the replay because that pocket almost didn't take that 12 ball. And I don't think Kungpeng expected to be at the table in this frame, the way it looked. With the position that Gareth did have on the 2-6. And it's almost routine for the Chinese players to have the cue ball cleaned at least once every frame. Look, it's a habit for them, it's part of their routine, and I can see why. Especially on shots like delicate roll-through shots, you don't have a kick, the reason that you don't get the position you want. And this black ball for rack and run, and frame number 13 for Zhang Kungpang.
13-10，谢谢。24局，张坤鹏开球。
So after 23 frames played, Zhang Kungpang 13-10 up on Gareth Pots in this race to 19. Courtesy of 4 break and runs, 7 rack and runs. So 11 one-visit clearances out of 13 frames for Kungpang. Gareth Pots, 10 points, 5 rack and runs, 2 break and runs, 7 clearances out of 10. That's for both players over 70% one-visit clearance rate in this match. Not only has Kungpang potted on this break, he's put most of the balls in the balk area. This being the 24th frame, we will have a player break after this. So at the first 8 frames, it was 5-3 to Gareth Pots. At 16 frames, 8 all. And Kungpang will be going into this player break leading, even if Gareth Pots does win this frame. Question is, does he go in leading by 2 or leading by 4? Yeah, he's not nicely on that 5. That 5 requires a bit of swerve around the 10 to go in, so he's taking the 6 instead. Would have liked that cue ball to come at least halfway of the table. Now this is not an easy 4. Besides that, he has to deal with the 5 and 3 in the balk area. Yeah, that's quite a steep angle to pot this 4 in the bottom left corner pocket. No problem at all, and he's on the 5. Much better than he was earlier in the frame. Not only the pot, the position as well. Little nudge on the 11. And I just figured he usually gets the cue ball cleaned a ball or 2 before the black ball. I can see why those are usually the most important shots in a frame, so that does make sense. He checks it off the left-hand side cushion on the black ball to the top right. Fifth break and run, 14th point for Zhang Kungpeng as he goes into the break, 14 frames to 10.
金腿比赛专用，提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
Wasted your love and won't waste anymore.
老孙啥功名不要，只求回到这花果山中了，过过逍遥日子。
天要求干，化一切为可能。欧尚地毯突破核心科技，从智能车间到高品质球房，重新定义标准，为每一个台球梦想铺好第一步。铺好毯，打好球，不掉毛，零干扰。
职业选手的第一选择，欧尚地毯掉毛地毯终结者。
超级蓝钻皮头职业版，采用进口头层水牛皮，韧性好，弹性持久，颗颗精选，粒粒碾压，严格质检。世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，祝您夺冠！
罂粟胶边具有国内胶边很难做到的特点，罂粟胶边的硬度达到了45度，使反射角高度接近入射角。罂粟整条胶边误差小于20丝，因而各部位酷性一致。欢迎各品牌厂家使用罂粟胶边来提升台球桌的专业性能。好胶边罂粟皂，好胶边罂粟皂。
超级蓝钻皮头，黄金版、白金版，采用进口头层水牛皮，颗颗精选，严格质检，韧性好，弹性持久，世界职业球员必用的皮头，超级蓝钻，一专业，缔造不凡。
方寸间雕刻，毫厘间相见。成木质之美，雕琢洞天；遇腾龙之势，巧思匠心。以点线面，以小现大，无蜘蛛匠心之作。
今天给大家推荐一款非常好的台泥 H153，是我自己用了1年多的台泥，汗毛量80%，手感特别细腻，走位很平稳。根据我自己用了1年多的这个台泥，这个 H153特别适合我们球房用，一些中小型比赛也特别适合它用。如果你的球房想用一款非常好的台泥，我推荐 H153。
，HL53走球更到位。
暂停结束，比赛继续。第25局，张坤鹏开球。
And we are back after that break. The score is 14-10 in favor of Zhang Kungpang over Gareth Pots. And that's courtesy of a few break and runs that he's added to his total. Kungpang is now on 5 break and runs, 7 rack and runs. Gareth Pots currently on 2 break and runs, 5 rack and runs. Now we did see that potting a ball off the break percentage. It's now at 50-50. Earlier in the match it was 75 for Pots, 25 for Kungpeng. This is a race to 19, a winner's break format in this loser's bracket final. Just 3 players left. Winner of this match plays Zhao Ruliang in the grand final tomorrow at 4 p.m.
10秒。
Yeah, almost perfect. Out for the 14. Now the black ball can be slightly tricky to get onto it. It does go. Would prefer to be playing the black ball from the right hand side of the table into the top left. But also with that camera angle we can see there is a gap between 2 and 1. He's very low on the cue ball. Yeah, he was able to nip it past the 2. As predicted, from the right side of the table into the top left corner pocket. Nicely done from Gareth Pots. He gets his 11th point on the scoreboard.
26局，加雷斯波茨开球。
So that was Gareth Pots' 6 rack and run, 2 break and runs, 6 rack and runs, trailing by 3 frames from Zhang Kungpang. And dry break, so dry break from both players. Stripes in play for Kungpang. Yeah, that was a really, really nicely executed clearance from Pots. In the previous frame, it was one that he needed to make. Can't let Kungpeng pull away. As we head towards closing stages of this match. Now against Fonement earlier, we did see Pots with 3 consecutive break and runs at the end of the match. Now that's what he needs now against Kungpeng. Yeah, he did have a look to see that the 9 passes the 1 into the right center pocket. And that should put him on the black ball to the top left. And there again, 2 balls before the black ball, he gets the cue ball cleaned. And that looks to be almost perfect on this 9. And Kungpeng was able to pull out this lead because of the 3 break and runs that he made. He made a break and run, and there was a slight tactical frame, and then followed by 2 consecutive break and runs. And just like that, he was able to pull out the lead as he takes another rack and run.
Of eternity. A bond forever and beyond.
Zhang Kungpang 15-11 up at the moment. He has 5 break and runs, 8 rack and runs. And he's made the 2 ball bottom left corner pocket. Yeah, he's smashing them as hard as he possibly can. It doesn't matter where a ball goes in, as long as it goes. So at the moment, race to 19, he's 4 away from the finish line and 4 away from Gareth Pots. I feel that the next time Gareth Pots does come to the table, he needs to make the most of the winner's break format and has to put together a few frames. And very similar to the Zhao Ruliang match with Kungpeng. Kungpeng found his form towards the middle and end of that match. I think he's okay. Yeah, he is. He's still on the 5. 5 connects him to the 7 for the opposite corner. Not an easy shot playing the cue ball off the cushion like that. Made that look much easier than it actually is. Now Kungpeng has had quite a run in stage 3. First round match he had to go through Chu Bingjie. Decider won that 13-12. Next Ali Pordell 13-4. Phone Mint 15-9. Tang Shun Shao 17-10. And then he took that loss to Zhao Ruliang 19-16. But to put Chu Bingjie in the loser side, and that's another break and run for Zhang Kungpeng.
比分16-11，开球新台，谢谢。第28局，张坤鹏开球。
And that cue you saw during that little break from Omen, that is the cue that Phonement uses. And he's made a ball again. Yeah, the cue that Phonement uses has a 9-ball type butt, but has the flat edge like a snooker cue at the end. And then an ash shaft from halfway up. You would have seen Phonement using that cue in the match earlier today. So score 16-11 to Kungpeng, and that is another break where he's potted a ball. Now the 9 does pass the 1 into the center. Depending where he gets the cue ball, he can play 9-15 black ball or 15-9 black ball. Well, of course, through the gap, the 9 also passes into the same pocket where the black ball is outside. Yeah, it's going to be 9-15 black ball. So at the break, it was 14-10 to Kungpeng, and since then, he's been absolutely ruthless. And what I've noticed in matches, this is his strongest time in a match, these middle to ending areas. He just wasn't able to take out Zhao Ruliang yesterday. And this for another break and run and his 17th point.
张坤鹏胜，比分17-11，开球清台。谢谢。第29局，张坤鹏开球。
17-11 to Zhang Kungpang at the moment. Winners break format, and he's really taking advantage of it. Look at the power he's getting into that break. However, hasn't made a ball this time. He's currently on 7 break and runs, 8 rack and runs is Zhang Kungpang. Now Gareth Pots to the table, and this is what we were talking about. He needs to make the most of these opportunities and then needs to make the most of the winner's break format. Winner's break format not only allows an opponent to go ahead by a few, but it allows for a massive comeback as well. This 11 to the bottom, it's there. And can you imagine the pressure on that shot? As it is, it's a tough pot to get right. It does look like the 12 passes the 7 into the top left pocket. Yeah, that could have come a few rolls further past the 4 ball. It's gotten slightly tricky now. Wanted to be able to take care of these 2 balls on the bottom of our screen and then use the 10 ball to go up table.
10秒。5。
Yeah, that looks like it's in. Yeah, what a recovery pot that is. Pots is playing with a Pots cue. It's his own brand. I think he made it after he won the first or second Masters Grand Finals. So it's his own brand, the Pots cue. There's the Pots playing cue and Pots breaking cue. It is on the market, is available.
10秒。
Look at the position on the cue ball. That's what that shot was all about. Position for the 14, and he's had to play that with the rest. Now where the cue ball is and the 10 ball, so the 4 doesn't go into the center. He's left the 5, he's left the 6. Yeah, straight cueing. Really, not only the pot, but also landed on the 3, didn't go too far. And even that little shot before that, the 2 did go, but just that little nudge. And it wasn't a forced nudge, it was using the natural path of the cue ball to get into the 2 and the black ball. There we see that the 4 looks like it does go off the jaw. He wanted to come around. Yeah, that's why he's raised his hand. He wanted to come around the 5. But of good fortune for Zhang Kungpeng at the moment. Not as if he needs it. He's currently 17-11 up in this race to 19. Now that earlier little nudge on the black ball and the 2 ball is the reason it pots past the 12 into the top right corner pocket. Well, that's kicked quite a bit. He would have usually been slightly shorter on that. And it's there. 18 point for Zhang Kungpeng. He's 18-11 up. So after 29 frames played, the score is 18-11 to Zhang Kungpeng over Gareth Pots in this race to 19 losers bracket final. And Gareth Pots, the last international player standing in this tournament. What an achievement that is. Making it through stage 2 and stage 3. And usually, when it comes to the last 8, last 6, you do see him in fonement in the tournament. It was a pity that they had to play each other earlier. So cue ball in on the break, ball in hand behind the balk line, stripes in play for Gareth Pots. He's 18-11 down in this race to 19. Can't afford a single mistake now. He's taken his extension now as well. Now Kungpeng to the table, and what has Gareth Pots left? It's not simple. By no means the 7 behind the 9. 1 on the right side. Looks like his opening pot will have to be the 5 down to the bottom right. Oh, nice pathway between 14 and 12 and the cushion. It's there, no, it's not. It stayed out. I think Gareth Pots did use his extension already.
10 秒.
Yeah, referee calls 10 seconds, so he has to play now.
5.
Not a bad cue ball, made use of the combination shot, potting Zhang Kungpeng's ball. That is a legal shot in the game of Heyball. As long as you make contact with your ball first, you can pot your opponent's ball. You know, from this angle, that looked like it was hitting the inside jaw. Very thick. I'm surprised that went in. Is he using the 2 to break up the 7? Yes, he is. Look at that shot. He's gotten unlucky there. That was an excellent shot. They should show a replay of that. I would expect them to. And where the cue ball and the 7 is currently not potable, and I don't think, the 7 still doesn't go into the corner. And he might be snookered behind the 11. Oh, it's going from bad to worse for Kungpeng in this frame. And he wanted this angle on the 3 so he could then get back into the 7. Is he planning to clip this into the center pocket? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And look at that. Yeah, well deserved of that applause. Look at this. Judged to absolute perfection from Kungpeng. He knew the cue ball is going around the table. It was always ending up in the balk area. Now this is going to naturally take the cue ball in line for the black ball. How's your nerve? It's there. One more big shot to get him into the final. And it's there. Zhang Kungpang defeats Gareth Pots.
谢谢，恭喜，谢谢。
Yeah, and those two are good friends off the table as well, Gareth Pots and Zhang Kungpang. So Zhang Kungpang, 19-11 over Gareth Pots. He is through to the grand final tomorrow against Zhao Ruliang. Single life race to 23 winner breaks. That will be at 4 p.m. tomorrow local time. That's China Standard Time or Beijing time. And thank you guys for joining us on the stream. It was a really great match between these two. And Kungpeng showing us how many clearances did he have? 7 break and runs, 8 rack and runs out of 19 frames. Very nice ending from these two players. And thank you guys for joining us. I'm your commentator for the Heyball events, Raymond Tilak from South Africa. We will be back tomorrow just before 4 p.m. So catch the beginning of the stream so you can see the players walking out and the lag just before the match. And yeah, thank you guys. Cheers. Have a good evening.